February is the month for romance. A getaway for two could add a little something extra to your relationship. Expedia just released its 2015 Heat Index, which gives us a few clues about how travel impacts romance. Joining us live from Seattle, Senior Editor and all-around travel expert, Sarah Gavin. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I have to tell you, coming to you from Seattle, I was looking outside at the weather today, and I feel like my Valentine's Day is going to be very 50 Shades of Grey and not in a good way.
Oh, my. Let's break down this survey, shall we? What did you learn? And just how candid were respondents?
So I was surprised. People were really very candid. But, certainly what we learned is a lot of couples, especially if they've been in a relationship long term, really feel the need to bring a lot of heat back into their relationship. And so we see, 28% of people say if they go to the beach that really is going to help their marriage or help their relationship. And that's sort of the number one type of travel destination. We saw that Paris tops the list for both sexiest and most romantic destination. Vegas came in as number 2. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Not surprised. Came in as a pretty sexy destination. And then the one that enticed me on the list of sexiest destinations was Rio. So we have an amazing program going on right now with LAN Airways, who flies to South America. And it struck me that, if you think about sort of letting your inhibitions go, Rio seems like the place to do it.
What types of vacations are considered the most romantic? You mentioned the beaches and then Sin City. I mean, there's a range of ideas here, but the type of vacation, how can that impact heat between a couple?
Certainly beaches came in as number 1, but it's the big romantic cities that, that I think appeal to a lot of people too, right? It's your Paris or your London or Madrid, places like that. Behind the beach, that's really where people want to go after that. But, we saw a lot too around spontaneous trips. So it's this idea that, now we can pick up our smartphone and just say, oh my gosh, honey, the kids have a sleepover tonight. Everybody's gone. Instead of just being home, why don't we go away, just even to our own city? Or go a couple of hours away and just get away, book that last minute trip. And we saw that was something that really popped too.
We're focusing on established relationships so far in this conversation. What about new relationships though? If you've met somebody, how soon is too soon for an overnight trip, do you think?
So there's a fair amount of debate about that. 28% of people said that you could go on an overnight trip within the first 3 months of your relationship, which I thought, very impressive. We have a very daring American population. The majority of people said that somewhere in the 4 to 8 month range is the right time. And really what they said is in that range, you know the person well enough that sharing a hotel room might not be odd, but that you also are ready to sort of take the relationship to that next phase and learning what your communication style is when you're traveling. Travel can be absolutely magical, but there can be things that go wrong, especially, weather-related travel. And so understanding communication style and how do you handle some of that stress seems like that's a really big thing that can bring a lot of people together, and that people said really meant a lot to them when they think about traveling together as a couple in that 4 to 8 month window.
And then this idea traveling for Valentine's Day, but here we are so close to the holiday. Is your point it's not too late to plan for a big trip, even, in town, of course, but a big trip too at this point?
Yeah, what's amazing to me is this year really is the year to take a big international trip. The dollar is really strong this year relative to other currencies in Europe and other currencies in South America. So if you have that, dream Paris trip or that dream trip to South America that you've been putting off, this is the year to go. Your dollar is going to stretch more this year than it has in many, many years.
Right.
And so, you can actually sort of, even if you think about just getting away at the last minute, that dollar is just going to stretch so much further that it's totally reasonable to try to take a trip still at the last minute.
I'm going to borrow a page from the attorney handbook and ask a question I already know the answer to. Is there a website with more information, Sarah?
There is indeed. Check out Expedia.com or go to the Expedia Viewfinder blog for all the good secrets we can't say on air.
We can do that. Easy enough. Thank you, Sarah, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Mike?